Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer and another unboxing video. Today we're looking at Mars Expedition SOL43, which is a logic board game. All right, and this is by Queensell. Looks like ages 8 and up, and it's only for 1 to 2 players. All right, scientific adventures in desert mazes. Now I'll admit, I've never heard of this game, but it actually looks very interesting and fascinating. Okay, looks like we even got the components for the game right here. But this is what's really cool. I read this real fast. Scientists state that there is an eternal equation in which the number of unique solutions to X equals the number of atoms in the universe, considering their possible combinations. It sounds mysterious, just like the game in this box. Now, astronauts state that one of the great benefits of traveling in space is the opportunity to see the native planet from a new perspective. It sounds captivating. However, how would it sound to see Mars from a new perspective? That would be cool. Now, historians state that people's superpower is in telling stories that ignite, fall in love, and unite. Thus, in order to discover this legend, to complete it together with the astronauts of the future, you will need to open this box. So how about we do that just right now? Let's open this box and let's see what we have inside of here. So, all right, I just thought that was kind of cool. That was a little unique. Some things that are written on the back of the box are kind of about the game. Some things are a little bit different, and that one was a little bit different, and I liked it. So I thought I would share. I like to do that. I'll share stuff every now and then. Do you listen to me? I hope you do. Okay, now let's get all this plastic off this game. But let's take a look at what we have. All right, that's actually really cool looking, by the way. I do like that. And this isn't a large box as far as squareness, but it's pretty thin, which is actually kind of nice. Now, inside the box, what we're going to get is some really cool looking, unique things. Looks like we have some little Mars tornadoes. Those are really awesome. And they feel like they're really good quality. We have a little Mars jellyfish creature. I don't know what that is. I'm going to go with creature. Let's put him back in there. We're going to have just our regular pawns. Okay, I'm assuming team red, team white. We're going to have this big old honking 12-sided dice. So that's probably going to give us all of our compass directions. Nice. And then a little foam piece. I have no idea what this foam piece is for. Maybe we'll find out something what that foam piece is for, and we'll go with that. Okay, so this right here looks like is going to be one of our boards. I think there's multiple boards actually. Okay. And like I said, I have no idea anything about this game at all. Okay, so this is going to be new. What you're seeing is totally new to me. Okay, now this is anomaly for SOL43. This is northeast. Now, this looks like this one's in shrink. Oh, okay, these are thin and these are in shrink wrap. All right, and this is just a hard board. So that's going to make sense. So let's get this thing opened up and let's take a look what we have inside. So it looks like they have a whole bunch of different maps and stuff to use, and I'm gonna try not to stab my finger here. So for these, they're different, or scenarios maybe, or whatever they are. They're just using these smaller, thinner maps so they can get more inside of the box rather than having this big, giant, huge box, which, sometimes I greatly appreciate that. Okay, so let's get this off and let's take a look at what we got. Now, anomaly for SOL43, this is the northeast. So what are we gonna get with this little piece right here? Let's slide it up. And like I said, they're a little flexible. There you go. There's anomaly. So, yeah, look at that. Love it. Now, and I have no idea what any of this stuff means. Oh, there's northeast. This is going to be northwest. Okay. So, does that mean we're supposed to stick these things together? I don't know. I'm guessing they're going to be individualized. Actually, it's the first one we looked at, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in this. So, this is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. All right, here is going to be our south. Take a look at that. And I'm probably going to quit flipping these because I don't think there's anything different on the back side of them. I'm wondering if they're just all going to be on the back side and then you're just going to like randomly grab one. Okay. All right, we got our regular west. So I really want to find out what all these numbers are for and how this is going to work out. This looks like it's kind of a really heavy, deep thinky type game. That's what I'm kind of seeing on this. I'm thinking this is going to be one where I'm just going to be staring at a map for a while trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And then roll a dice, maybe move something, figure something out. I will say this. I am absolutely intrigued by this game because I want to figure this out. Now, I know it's not color by numbers. Kind of reminds me of some of that old stuff from when I was a kid. But there you go. But yeah, there's a lot of these maps. You know, and if each one of these maps is going to take a while to play, because it didn't say on the back how long it takes to play. Now that kind of scares me. It can be fast, it can be slow, maybe it could be on how well you deduct things. I don't know. Okay, but figure it out. See, now that one don't look nearly as bad. Some of these look like they might be a little easier than others. I have no clue. All right, let's see. We got just a couple more of these, and then we're going to be done. But yeah, the more of these I see, the more I'm just really fascinated to try to figure out what's going to be inside this box. All right, and that's our last one. And as you can see, still that anomaly stuff in the back. All right, so let me stack those up real fast. Now here, looks like we're going to get a little punch board. Looks like we're going to have some just rocks from our desert. Got some different crystals, maybe some photographs, looks like. And oh yeah, look at those little mountain ridges and stuff. Don't know what that is. Oh, there you go, Mount Olympus. Kind of tells you what everything is. You're going to get points for things. Your different rocks and rocks. Okay, and it looks like everything punches really nice. So good job there. Put those off to the side. Now, this is where we're going to have our rule book. Got our game rules. Okay, the back's basically going to tell you what all's in there. There's that same story that I read to you earlier. Okay, looks like we got pictures of playing the game, and we've got a 22-page rule book. So let's see what's inside this rule book. Now, okay, section 1, we got your introduction, you got your components. All right, so that looks like the main board that you're going to probably have on everything you play. All right, and then just kind of laying all your pieces out. I want to see how these maps are going to line out. So yeah, so it looks like we're putting stuff on that board. I want to see how these tiles come into play. We got 19 pieces. They're additional game boards. A drone's going to fly here when it's a geographic anomaly. So yeah, it looks like you might be having to pull those out at different times, possibly. So we got a one-player game. Kind of curious how that works. So yeah, so it looks like we're definitely moving stuff around on that main board, and we're going to be using the other boards for something else. All right, looks like we got our little windstorm. It's going to be going up there. Oh, and that little black foamy thing. All right, looks like that's, so it's definitely something you're using. Two-player game. All right, the additional here. It's kind of weird to have the solo game in the front, so I wonder if this game was originally designed as a solo game. And then they added the two-player in later. So now in this two-player game, it looks like we're using these different maps. So see, I'm just really confused. But I really want to check this thing out. This looks fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And there you go. Okay, put that off to the side over here. Now, I did see some of these. These are just some little wooden cubes. Okay, or not really cubes, but your little rectangles. Probably using them for dividing things up and stuff like that. All right, we'll put those back in their little slot. Now, this is a nice plastic, heavier plastic. I don't know what it's for, but it looks interesting pattern on it. Looks interesting. Looks like we have a little tiny one as well. Okay. We just put him back in his little slot there. And then we have these other two. They look identical. I don't know what they're for. Absolutely no clue. But it looks like they're going to go there. And they're a thick, heavy plastic too. So they, quality-wise, I think the components in this game are just outstanding. I mean, this thing is just top-notch. Now, let's take a look at these cards. Let's see what we're going to get with these cards. All right, I'm kind of wondering where we're going to put all of our tokens as well. Not really seeing a spot for the tokens. Okay, so the back side of these are all going to look the same. So I don't know if there's any differences between them, but pause if you want to take a little closer look at this stuff. So we got our wave shield, a little modulator. I'm kind of thinking there's not a lot of cards. So hopefully we're not going to see really any duplicates in them. It's not looking like we're going to. All right. So, oh no, we got our recharging, nullification. I think I'm seeing, yeah, it looks like we do have some duplicates. Okay, the wave shield modulator. Yeah, it looks like we got about 3 of every card. All right. Not sure if we're, maybe 4 of every card. Nullification, Einstein Bridge. There we go. Yep, I didn't see anything else in there that was going to be totally new. So, and these cards are different than these cards, so we're just going to slide those there. And now we're going to have these big ones. All right, now these may tell us what we're supposed to try to do in this game, because I say in the back it's like collect minerals and do stuff like that. So let's find out. Okay, so like collect minerals, take a picture of the terrain, put the aerographene in the base, and return to the base. Okay, so collect minerals. Yeah, so the backs of these is going to be all a little different. These are probably going to be what you have to do in order to complete your objectives. All right, and so it looks like we're just, yeah, I'm not sure. So here's all the different, maybe some different rocks you might be able to find. Okay, but yeah, they definitely look different. Okay, you got your Sol 9, Sol 10. We'll see if they have those same numbers on the other side, and I'll flip through those. We'll go through those as well. It won't take too long. There's not a lot of these cards. All right, I'm guessing maybe the more stuff that's on these cards, the harder it's going to be. I don't know. I don't know, but it's definitely unique. Now that looks, ouch. Whew. Boy, just following some of these just hurts my brain. All right. Okay, now, if that Sol number is on the backside, as we go through them, then you guys can correlate them to the different things. So if there's like one of these, you're like, oh, look at that one, like SOL43. Whoa, look at that. What's the backside going to look like? SOL34. See, you'll be able to go through them when I go through them the opposite direction. Otherwise, I'd be flipping these front, back. That'd probably be easier for me to do it, but I'm already this far. All right, and we're just kind of trying to get an idea anyways. So these only difference is what's going to be down at the bottom, but like those ones right there are the same, but even though it's a 42, 43, but they're totally different on this back side. So it looks like the bottoms, there's may not be a lot of differences between them, but the front side, the other side is just going to basically tell you what pictures you have to take. What are the different requirements maybe? That's just kind of what it looks like. All right, and I'm not really sure I'm seeing anything new at this point. Solo mode 19, yes, target moves first. So it looks like we got some regular, some solo. I don't know if some of these can be used for both, or if some of those are specifically for the solo mode of the game. But all right, it's cool. This may be one that I think is gonna be good as a solo game, but there's some solo games that I prefer to play multiplayer. But is the multiplayer in this game gonna have you work together competitively? How's it gonna be? I don't know. So let's just stick those in there and we're gonna be good to go. So that's everything to this game. All right. That's, yeah, as far as I can see, that is all of our stuff. So we're going to put this in here, and you know what? I'm just going to kind of slide these right back in their spot. I got to figure out where they're going to fit inside this box. All right, I don't think there's nothing underneath. We're all the way down to the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and put all these maps in. We're going to take our hardboard. We're going to put that in. We're going to put our rules on top because that's where I like it. Unless it's all wiggly. If it's not flat, I like it down below. And let's just go ahead and get the lid put back on that thing. And there you go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Mars Expedition SOL43, the Logic board game. Now, this thing to me, I'm sorry, this looks fascinating. I'm really looking forward to trying to get this to the table and seeing how this plays. It's kind of an abstract-y looking game, but it just looks incredible. If any of you played this game, heard of this game, know this game, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your opinions and your thoughts on this game. And even if you've never played it or seen it, what you think about just the way it looks. It looks incredible. Looks like something I'm going to try. Leave your comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching.
You better get back, Zackman, or this cowardly commentator will pay the ultimate price! $5! It's just so